everybody. My name's Hilary Woodhead. I'm the Executive Director at NAPA, the National Activity Providers Association. And I'm delighted to be joined by my friend Carolina from the Care Workers Charity. She's going to say a little bit about herself and about her charity and why we're here to talk to you this afternoon. Hi, Carolina.
Hi, Hilary. Lovely to be joining you this afternoon. Thank you to everybody who's watching us, either live now or later on today. Yes, I'm Carolina, CEO of the Care Workers Charity. We are a benevolent fund for people who work delivering social care, supporting people and hopefully making their lives better. And we support care workers financially and also around their mental health. And we do our best campaigning for care workers as skilled workers with a lot of expertise. We ask government for increased funding to social care, and we also want to make sure that the wider society respects and recognises care workers for the important work that they do.
Brilliant. Thank you. That was very beautifully put. And do you want to just say a little bit about what you mean by care workers? Because obviously we're working together and that includes activity providers too, doesn't it?
Yes. So care workers for us are people who work and are paid for supporting people's lives, whether it's in care homes, in supported living, in home care, and also personal assistants who support people individually in their own homes.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. So do you want to just say a little bit about why we're working together and why we're here this afternoon?
So Care Home Open Week this year, organised by Championing Social Care, that we are working together with for the week of 26th of June to the 2nd of July, which is coming up very soon in the next couple of weeks, which is a celebration of all the great things that are happening in care homes across the country. And Hilary and I had this great idea of why not fundraise for our two amazing charities that support all the great people that work in social care, supporting lives of residents, of people that live in care homes and have amazing lives in those care homes, supported by all the care workers and activity providers who are also care workers working there.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. I think one of the things that's really exciting for us at NAPA, we obviously everything we do for activity providers, but we've also got this new campaign, which is called Living the Dream, which actually is about making dreams come true for care home residents and older people who live in their own homes. So our fundraising part of this, our element of this is about raising funds that can make a difference to your activity programs as well and to the lives of the people that you support, to do something a little bit outrageous that other people perhaps wouldn't consider entirely appropriate for an older person to do, but is really, really important to them. So this really is a great opportunity to think creatively about how people spend their time and to support financially the people that make that happen. So together, it feels like a really good connection that we formed, and we're really excited for the week. We've got quite a few people watching us, I think. I wonder if we've got any questions yet, Jana. So we might get a question coming up soon.
Well, I think while we're waiting for some questions to come through, I think what might be good for people to hear about what we do at the Care Workers Charity in terms of our grants that support people. So since 2020, we've supported over 9,000 care workers across the country, across the UK, with over £5 million. And those grants have been across different needs. That could be from issues around the cost of living crisis. So we've given people money to pay their bills, buy food for them and their children, pay for issues around their health or absence due to poor health, pay for funerals, because unfortunately we know many care workers passed away, especially during COVID. Their family members passed away as well. Pay for transportations, especially for care workers working in the community, or MOTs to make sure that they have cars to get to homes of people that they support. So there are a lot of things that care workers need money for, especially very basic things that a lot of us still take for granted. And we make sure that we support them with those. And as I mentioned, we also have a mental health program where care workers can self-refer for therapy. And we also help train up mental health first aiders.
It's really important. And I think that is incredible. You think about, since 2020, so in that really short period of time, the reach has been absolutely phenomenal. That has to be, absolutely amazing, really. Did you anticipate that you would be able to grow the fund in quite the way that you did. I mean, over £5 million in grants, that's just amazing. Why do you think that you were able to achieve that particular goal?
I think people hopefully are realizing more and more how important care workers are in our society and what important work that they do. Every £500 that we fundraise makes a huge change to a care worker's life. And again, this fundraiser is going to help us change lives of many more care workers. And Hilary, for your charity is going to help make huge difference as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we're just asking for £100, aren't we? That's the challenge. So we want every care home in the country to set themselves a challenge and to raise £100. And the reason why we went for £100 is that we know during Care Home Open Week, often people have bake sales or summer fair, they're opening their doors to their local community. It might be, a raffle. It doesn't have to be a really involved fundraising activity. It's great if you want to do something really sophisticated and advanced, fantastic. But actually, these are the little things, aren't they, Carolina, that can make such a big difference, that actually we hope £100 is affordable for a care home to fundraise within their local community, the people that are supporting them, and also to think creatively about who they open their doors to as well, and to work perhaps with local businesses, even local schools, youth groups, etc., to get them to think about the different kinds of activities they might get involved in. So, and the weather, we've got the right weather for it, haven't we, to get outside and be outside, be in those lovely gardens that so many care homes have. And to think a little bit about, well, actually, what do people want to do in this week? How can we use this platform of Care Home Open Week, demonstrate all the great work we do, but at the same time, just think about how we might support care workers moving forward and enable people to fulfill some of those dreams. We do have the first question. I've got it here, so we'll put this up. How does Care Home Open Week contribute to fundraising efforts for organisations like NAPA and the Care Workers Charity? And why is this fundraising crucial for their operations? I think, well, first of all, for me, Carolina, I'll give you a minute to think about that. But I think fundraising is something perhaps that has taken a bit of a hit for charities over the last couple of years. I think we're not alone, are we, in that many, many charities, national but small charities, are finding it more and more difficult to perhaps receive the funds that they did previously. And so actually for organisations to be able to demonstrate that they're committed, I suppose, to the well-being of their staff and the people who use services, this is a really good opportunity to showcase really that commitment, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And Championing Social Care is doing a great job of getting Care Home Open Week to so many care homes, thousands of care homes across the country. And for us, it's a great way to get our names, our charities' names, to more care homes across the country that maybe didn't hear about us before. And like Hilary said, activities that would be happening in those care homes anyway, like a party, a tea party, or maybe a picnic or a bake sale, are a great way without much more effort to fundraise for the charities that are there for people who are working in those care homes, for people that are supporting lives for people who draw on social care, who live in those care homes, who are part of the community, and for their families. So for us who are not massive national charities, but are quite small charities, any fundraising activities like this make a huge difference. Like I said, for us at CWC, every £500, which is an average grant, makes a huge difference, changes the life of a care worker.
Absolutely. And I think those stories that you have, of how it has made a real difference to people. Do you want to just share a couple of examples, real life examples of how one of these grants has made a difference?
Yeah, I think for us, always the most striking stories are those where we help people stay working in the sector, how our work supports retention. And that's for us what's really important. So a grant from us supports somebody to be able to feed their family, because that's how bad things can get for care workers. And it's really heartbreaking seeing those stories. And we get feedback from those grantees saying the £500 or however much we grant has helped me put some food in the fridge, pay off my electricity bill, which meant I was then able to go to work without worrying too much, still do great work, deliver outstanding care to people I support, without worrying about things too much, my day-to-day bills, and continue being able to deliver great care.
I think that in itself is just really powerful, that we are still working and supporting staff that actually aren't making ends meet, and that's probably more the case than ever before, isn't it? That's obviously a much bigger issue, but actually that people are even finding it difficult to get to work, and they need petrol in their car, and that this is the basic stuff of daily life, that the Care Workers Charity are making such a difference. And I wonder whether there's, for me, thinking about how we support people to live well as they get older, just in terms of the Living the Dream campaign, I think sometimes people make assumptions about older people. Perhaps they've already done all the things that they wanted to do. Maybe they're nearing the end of their life. They have complex care and support needs. The last thing they're going to want to do is something, outrageous or risky. But actually what we're hearing from activity providers is the complete opposite, is that people do want to challenge, and they do want to still live life and to take risks sometimes, but just to do things that perhaps they've always thought they'd get to, but never quite did. And I'm going to be 50 in a couple of weeks, and I've got a great big list of things I was supposed to do before I'm 50. I'm not going to get them all in before the end of July. But I think that's often the case, isn't it? That people have ambitions, they have dreams, and these aren't big things. These are tiny little things that can make a big difference to somebody. We had our conference last week at NAPA, and we were talking to activity providers about the little things that actually people don't always appreciate make the biggest difference. Having a wheelchair that goes into the sea so that people can still put their feet in the sea, being able to visit a loved one that perhaps has moved away or is 100 or 200 miles away, and just the logistics of getting there now have become really, really difficult, making that happen, as well as things like, zip wiring and jumping out of aeroplanes. We'd love to make those dreams come true, but actually I think it's the little things, just as it is for care workers, that they really want to be able to provide for themselves or for their families, that we need to be giving attention to. I think we might have another question. We do. In what ways do you believe the general public can benefit from attending Care Home Open Week events? How does it help dispel misconceptions surrounding care homes particularly? Any thoughts on that, Carolina?
Yeah, I think it's always very good for general public to see care homes for what they are. I think people have very old-fashioned attitudes and perceptions of care homes. These days, care homes to me look more like 5-star hotels than what people seem to think of them as they are. I'd quite happily stay in most of them, if not all of them. They're really amazing places, designed with a lot of thought of what people want them to be like. But it's not really about the buildings. It's about people that work with them, and people that work with them have huge hearts that just want to give. That want to give love, care, and kindness. And that's what I want the general public to see. And Care Home Open Week, that's what it's all about. It's about teaching the society that social care and care workers and care providers are people that want to give love. And that's what we do in social care. And I really hope that as each year goes on, and as Championing Social Care keeps organising Care Home Open Week, and as hopefully we at CWC and NAPA can continue fundraising through Care Home Open Week, we can help educating the public, and we can help fundraising for care workers, including activity providers, and we can all keep coming together and making care homes those places that people want to go to rather than being scared of, because too many people are still scared of care homes, and they shouldn't be. people should want to be like, oh, I want to get old so I can go into a care home because there's such cool places with so many great activities that happen in, and everybody loves each other and everybody supports each other. And this is, yeah, I can't wait to get older. I can't wait to be in a position where I can get into a care home rather than be terrified of it. So I think it's a great time of the year, Care Home Open Week, to really help fight those rather negative misconceptions.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think I don't know what else to add. I think everything that you said, I completely agree with. And I just, I'm looking forward to going into a couple of local care homes myself during Care Home Open Week, because actually, it's so easy, isn't it, to think, oh, I'll do that next week. I'll pop in. I will pop in and see what's happening in this care home. I will go and say hello. I'll go to their fete. Or actually, this is a week entirely dedicated to opening the doors and for people to go in and say hello. So a plea really to the general public to, if you're passing during the 26th of June and the 2nd of July, your latest care home, don't keep walking. Just pop in and say hello, see what's going on during the week and whether or not you can get involved, because that's the only way that the general public's really going to learn what happens in a care home every single day, and that it is an interesting and vibrant and creative place to live and work. So a plea there, a little bit of a plea for everybody to pop in, find out where your local care home is and pop in during the week. Well, I think we're probably almost out of time. Is there anything else, Carolina, you would just like to say before we wrap up?
All I'd like to say is thank you for all of you who are participating in the week and fundraising for our two charities. I cannot stress enough how important care workers, including activity providers, are to all of us, and how grateful I am to all of them for the hard work that they do. Yes, it is very rewarding work, but it is also hard work, and it's very emotional work. And we need to all do our best to support them, because many of them unfortunately fall on hard times, and our charity does our best, but we need all of your support to continue doing the work that we do.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Carolina. Thank you all. Take good care and enjoy Care Home Open Week. Bye for now.
Bye.